Hello, everybody, and welcome to Republic City Rumble. This is a cooperative live stream brought to you as a collaboration between Rule of Lore and Q Times. That's right. Not only do you get to see me for 2 episodes to kick off the action, but you'll also get to watch Rule of Lore GM Lucas Santana bring the story home in the last 2 episodes with this very same cast of characters playing the Avatar Legends RPG. I'm super stoked for this, but it is my first time GMing, and I think it's everybody's first time playing, but I'm not sure. Well, I mean, speaking of that, why don't we start introducing all the players? Remy, let's start with you.
Yeah, hi, I'm Remy. I'm gonna be playing Niho. You can see me on mostly. I'm here as part of, I guess, like with the Rule of Lore crew, and so you should go check out what Rule of Lore is doing. They just started Infinite Horizon season 3, and I was there as a guest and finished out the season with them for season 2. So you can see me there. You can see me on Twitter at Remy Post, that's where everything I do is.
And then, do you want to talk a bit about Niho too?
Should I go into character?
Yeah, just a little bit about your character, Niho.
Yeah, Niho is an earthbender. She uses she, her pronouns, and she's playing out of the Hammer playbook. And she is ready to throw down and do some damage.
Nice. Xander, I think you're up next.
Yes. Oh, yeah. And then my name is Xander Jeanneret. I am on Twitter at Xanderific with 2 R's, 1 F. I'm a Twitch streamer. I do a bunch of stuff even here on Q Times. But tonight I'm playing Ezra using he, him pronouns. And Ezra is a firebender, but comes from a line of healing firebenders using the body temperature and fire cupping techniques to heal themselves and others.
Awesome, and can I say very creative? I love it.
Thank you.
Sam, I think you're up next.
I'm Sam. What is up? Apparently it's me. I am a role-playing performer, variety streamer throughout the Twitchernet here on Q Times, and I look forward to assimilating Rule of Lore as well when we get there. Until then, you can find me on Twitter at Tchaikovsky, ChaiKovsky, as well as on Twitch at Delevely, Delevely. Today, though, none of those things. Today, I am Tirza. I am an airbender, and I am using the Bold playbook not because I have anything to prove. Why would you say that?
I would never say that. And last but definitely not least, Liv.
Hey everybody, I'm Liv. I think I'm the only cross streamer because I am both on Rule of Lore and I have been on Q Times in the past. So on Q Times, I have hung out with the Parliament of Owls crew as Alma, your changeling witch, and over on Rule of Lore, I play Anar on the all queer LGBTQIA plus game. Oh my gosh, Into Deep. It's been so long. Into Deep, be gay, do heists. You can see me over there as Anar. But yes, today, here, I am going to be Kisima. She's going to be the successor of the group. I come from a long line of waterbenders, but I wouldn't say that that's my forte. Instead, she is a passionate, albeit misguided businesswoman in the making. You'll see.
We'll see. We'll definitely see. So, like I said, our group here is entered in a pro bending tournament, and I would like to really quickly discuss the rules of pro bending just to make sure that everybody's on the same page. So pro bending takes place in a hexagonal arena that's surrounded by almost a moat of water. Very long drop from the arena to the pool, but presumably it's very difficult to sustain injuries. That's the way the arena is designed. The arena is split into 6 sections. There is a middle section of the hexagon, which is the widest and longest section with the most room for the players to move about. And then one section further back and another section at the very end of the hexagon that get consecutively smaller, giving the players little bit less room to maneuver. The idea is that there's 3 benders, and they each start in the most wide open space, and they try to push the enemy team using their bending skills further back towards their like smallest section of the arena. So if you push 2 players out of the first section, the largest section, nothing happens. The game continues, and both teams continue to spar until you can push a 3rd member of a team back into the second section, and then the game pauses for a moment while the team that made that space gets to move forward 1 section. So they've basically gained ground. And the goal of the game is to push the enemy team either so far that they fall off, in which case you win that round, or at the end of 3 minutes, whoever has gained the most ground wins. If nobody has gained any ground or fallen off, then we go to a tiebreak. And the tiebreak is essentially you select an element from your team, and then the other team, and then those 2 elements go head to head, and basically whoever gets knocked back 1 space first wins. Loses. Whoever knocks the opponent back 1 space first wins. So those are the rules. I just wanted to make sure everybody was up to date, because that is what we're playing. And as we join our heroes sitting in their kind of dressing room sort of preparation area at the edge of the arena, by the door that leads to this a bridge that will be extended by a couple of earthbenders that work for the event, we hear the announcer. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Republic City Rumble. This is going to be a barn burner here today. We have the intrepid, the wonderful, the team that has had the most knockouts for the entire tournament so far, the Scorpion Bees. And the crowd goes, they go crazy, screaming. This is very clearly the crowd favorite. And on the other side of the arena, we have... I'm sorry, folks. You're going to have to give me 1 second here. It looks like it's a sub team. We haven't... I think we saw them perform yesterday. I'm very sorry, but my notes appear to be missing here. I seem to have forgotten their name, but they definitely have at least won a single match so far. Give him a hand. He seems very flustered and doesn't quite remember what it is that your team is called, but you hear people cheering nonetheless. It doesn't seem to throw them off that badly. And the announcer eventually comes back. All right, sorry about that, folks. We'll get back to you shortly while the 2 teams prepare, and we'll see you back here in 5 minutes. And as he stops and people begin to get up and walk out of the arena for concessions and to use the bathroom and whatnot, we come to you, sitting in your training arena. This is sort of a space off to the side. It's a separate room. There's a door between you and the kind of walkway to the arena proper. And behind you are, the training equipment. You have like troughs of water, little sconces of fire, discs of earth for you to bend, and there's air, right? So just access to all the elements in like a controlled way, and other like more physical equipment like bench press type thing and like dumbbells, just tons and tons of like workout equipment, whatever it is that you could imagine that you would need, you'd find that there. There's also a room off to the side that will take you to, a door off to the side that will take you to the spectators part of the arena. So you'd be able to enter the stands from where you are basically. And then the other side, similar door takes you to the other side of the arena. And those are the basically only 2 ways to exit aside from getting out into the arena itself. So how are you guys preparing?
Ezra is like closing his locker that he has here, and you can see that while they have sort of haphazard uniforms, all of them together, the one that Ezra's wearing is like particularly kind of dorky. It's sort of like this like one-piece swimsuit so that his arms and legs are very much exposed. And he's also putting on the helmet that sort of comes across as like a barrier across the cheeks. And he looks over at Kisima. Well, at least we'll be remembered as the team that didn't have a name.
In utter opposition of Ezra, Kisima is dressed in the hottest and finest fashions of Republic City. She's paying homage to her home nation, even though she's never really stayed there for a long time. But she's dressed in like these powder blues with like rich blue accents. She's got like a tasteful little tuft of fur because like even though it's hot outside, like, you know, it's what your grandparents would want you to see or want to see you wearing. So she looks great. but she just kind of like is just shaking her head, tapping like one finely manicured nail, and I just don't understand. I gave them notes on exactly who we are. There's no reason why they should make us look like a fool on our very first game, but don't worry. You just focus on, I like adjust his little helmet. You just focus on playing the best game that you can possibly play. Remember, you're our firebender. Fire, strength, intensity. Yes. Mm-hmm.
But we even have a mascot. Like, where's Pickle and Turtza?
Turtza is on their way, I'm sure.
Cut to.
They're coming back, gliding down the hall on their glider as quickly as they can and frantically rubbing in some kind of fire retardant so that when they are in the arena, the glider doesn't catch. This was something they should have done days ago. They should have remembered to go to the store. They should have remembered to get it. Frankly, it means that they weren't sitting there waiting. Running and having a terrible last minute thing to do is a totally different panic than sitting in the locker room and panicking. So as they zoom, trying frantically to get there on time, their uniform absolutely the way it was given to them, with no alteration and no particular sense of fit. They are trying, just like repeating affirmations to themselves. We can do this. This is a test of our ability to find victory in difficult conditions. This is a test of our resilience. Even if we are in defeat, it shows mental strength. It builds mental strength. We're do this. Not that we're gonna lose, but when we lose, if we lose, it will just build us stronger. And that's their affirmations. And they into the doorway, and I think they nearly knock into Niho.
Yeah, Niho is probably like kneeling by the door, like trying to just like meditate and like trying not to. Their uniform is probably not fitting as well as it could either, and that like they probably also have threatened to like rip out of it if they flex if she flexes too hard forward, and so sitting is kind of still as she can and keep her mind focused, and then definitely is caught off guard very bad by Tirza coming in and backs up like stumbling out of the way.
I'm here. Hello. Hi, I'm here.
And as Tirza stumbles into the room, the opposite door swings open and hits the side of the wall, and a woman with a clipboard followed by two scrawny looking, like they're dressed in the same uniform as the woman with the clipboard, but they look disheveled and messed up. The person with the clipboard looks furious, and they walk straight up to Kisima and they say, "Ma'am, I'm so sorry. I know perfectly well that you gave us the correct name, and it's just the announcer saw that you had written pygmy pumas and they didn't necessarily believe that was actually the name. And I told them, and I shouted at them, and I told them that was the name. I promise you. And I don't. This is very embarrassing for me. I'm very sorry. Can you please confirm that that's the name that you want us to use?"
The like intensity and anger and frustration that was like in Kisima's like muscles, not her face, never ever, but like just aching to get through her muscles melts away, and there's just this angelic smile. Honey, there's nothing for you to worry about. It's totally okay. Listen, breathe. I will handle everything. Okay.
Okay.
You're
So
doing amazing, sweetie. You're doing great.
Thank you. Should I? Is that?
Yes.
Should I tell them to? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Now.
Thank you.
We should go now.
Okay, I'm going right now. Thank you so much, ma'am. I appreciate it. And she stumbles off, and the two interns are just standing there. They're just kind of looking around.
Here?
I thought, oh no, and they run.
Mm-hmm.
The door closes behind them, and they leave you alone.
Well, at least you seem to be highly respected around here.
I would hope so.
She is the manager. They should do what she says.
Exactly. Manager, my family's a big deal around here. And soon all three, every single one of you, and I like tap Pickles on the nose, are going to be just as big, if not bigger. Right?
Pickle the pygmy puma on the nose of Tirza's glider.
Oh!
Only ever does this for Kisima.
Oh.
I'm gonna cry.
Absolutely coos, which is a sort of smoothing out because when clipboard and interns were in there, right behind Kisima, always is Pickles. Like maybe the more aggressive version. You remember there's nice, and then there's this anger translator.
Yes.
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 Until
Yes, very much
Kisima
so.
talks to Pickles, there's the anger translator.
I love. Also, yes, we are the Pygmy Pumas chat.
Yes.
Thank you, proudly.
And remember.
Yes, remember the name.
Tirza, this must be very exciting for you. I mean, I've only seen the bending side from the healer's tent, so even the first match was pretty heart-pounding.
We've got this. We've been training for this. We can do this. We build resilience. Yeah.
Oh, are you guys ready back there?
You hear one of the earthbenders that's standing in the doorway between you and the arena shout.
Listen, I know that traditionally they've been swapping out the airbenders for waterbenders, so maybe, Kisima, are you sure you don't want to suit up for this one? Maybe just in case someone...
Darling, do I look like I sweat?
Okay, I can do this.
All right, I'm going to take that as a yes. And the floor starts to shake a little as a bridge extends from the threshold of your training area / prep area onto the arena. You see the other teams already walking out.
Go out there. You've got this. I like give each of them like a little slap and a squeeze on the shoulder. As Niho passes, I like squeeze Niho's shoulder and I'm like, cover for Ezra, okay? You know he's a little soft, but you're not.
I'm not. And like replacing, like now like comes up behind Ezra, puts a hand on like his shoulder and is like moving both of us forward.
Yeah, totally going along with it.
Yes.
Tirza glides behind, and as they pass, Pickles jumps off of their glider and up onto Kisima's shoulder, where they will probably watch the match.
Yeah.
As you walk out, you see the scorpion bees are already in their positions, kind of looking impatiently at you, like, come on, like they have something better to be doing. And you take your positions, I assume, at the center of the arena, and you hear the announcer one more time. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Republic City Rumble, brought to you by Gravone Industries. That's right, the Gravone Industries, here for you, here for me, here for all of us to live and prosper. Now, we would like to welcome to the arena the Scorpion Bees, the winners of the winners of the last tournament, and also their challengers, the Pygmy Pumas.
Yay!
Woo!
Just Ezra and Kisima.
I like glare at some of the people sitting next to me, so they clap too.
Yeah, and they definitely do. There is, a smattering of applause, but very clear by the volume that you're not the favorites here. And with that being said, you hear the announcer say, "All right, and in 3, 2, 1, let's go!" And the center of the arena turns green. So this is a combat encounter. So this is our first time playing this session. So why don't you guys go ahead and tell me what your plans are for the exchange?
Yes.
Yes. So for Ezra, this is sort of the panic move that he has learned to do. He, in the front of the edge of the area that they're in, will sort of squat down into like a ready position and put his arms up in front of him. If you were to look closely, you could see that he's actually raising his body temperature. And because he's wearing that one-piece bathing suit, you can see his limbs start to radiate with this heat. And he's going to do a move called the Strength of Your Heart.
Oh, wow.
When you seize a position, foes must mark 2 fatigue to block your movement.
Wow. Okay. That is one. Anybody else ready to go? Anybody else ready? We resolve the combat at the end of everybody explaining what they're going to be doing.
Yeah, sorry, I was just deciding between two things.
Oh, no worries, no worries.
I think
Kisima yells from the stands, "Go for the throat!"
I think you could actually get away with using. There's a help move that you can use.
I don't think that I can help in combat.
Ah.
I think I saw that help doesn't.
Yeah,
Oh,
like,
you cannot help in combat exchange. You're right.
Yeah,
Totally right.
Tragically.
I think that Niho is going to immediately start to try to rise as many discs out of the ground as she can and fly them forward, like trying to move up as far close to like that front line as she can.
Okay, so you're just striking.
I'm just striking. Yep.
Okay. And are you going for a specific bender?
Not at the moment. Just with gonna go, I guess, aiming for either the fire or the waterbender because they seem to be the most dangerous.
Cool.
Oh yeah, is it a waterbender or an airbender on their team?
It's a waterbender.
Okay.
And Tirza is effectively going to tank hits for Niho because Niho is going to be striking out and there might be incoming at her. So they're using their glider and they're using wind to brush away and to make space from any incoming attacks so that Niho has a clear shot.
Gotcha. So we have Niho attacking, we have Tirza defending, and we have Xander basically buffing yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Ezra's buffing.
Cool. Okay, so the way that we resolve this is in order from defend to attack and then evade. Okay. So I'm going to say that Xander, your buff sounds more defensive than anything else, and so you stand in position and focus your energy, and you see maybe if there's other firebenders watching, they might notice what you're doing, but to the untrained eye, it might seem like you're a little bit, like
frozen in place. Yeah.
Yeah. And so you kind of get by just doing that. The enemy team looks at you and doesn't really see a huge threat.
That's fair.
Let's see. Tirza is also defending. So you can you describe it one more time?
Yeah. If they're on their glider, they're effectively swooping sideways and using the body of the glider to try to tank hits and then swooshing it around to create wind to brush off any incoming discs.
Got it. So you're trying to use it to like amplify the airbending almost.
Yeah, and to sort of clear incoming. We might not they might come on in first. I'm anticipating that they're moving faster than we are, so I'm just going straight to defense.
Fair enough. Okay, so you see Tirza kind of get into position and start that maneuver. And as that happens, we have Niho coming in and just attacking. And you see there's I think 21 individual little dispensers for earthbending discs, since it is against the law to bend the earth outside of the context of the provided discs. And I want to be 100% clear, actually against the law to bend the earth in the confines of the city. You have to stick to predefined areas. I think obviously there's like a self-defense thing if you have to do it in a certain context, but for the most part you would understand that sticking to the discs is an important thing.
We need prior authorization.
That was great. I loved everything about that.
And now we begin.
It's a slow breakdown. Let's go.
So can you go ahead and roll with passion for me?
Ooh, first
Remy?
roll.
Oh boy.
The first roll of the game.
So it's going to be, just for my clarification too, when we roll, it's going to be 2d6. And we're going to
Correct.
add them together, and we each have scores under our stats that we've predetermined to
Correct.
either add or subtract to that.
Yep. And if you roll a 7 through 9, that's going to be a soft success. If you roll a 10 or above, that's a definite success where you succeed in every way that you imagine and maybe even get actually a little bit more. If you roll less than, 6 or less, then that is a failure and there will be some consequence. So the soft success, I think, is the concept that people will be least familiar with. You will succeed. You will get the thing that you want, but maybe at a price. So that is the idea.
I rolled an 11, and then also I get a +2 to pass.
Yeah!
So,
Neho!
Wow. So you were attacking the water and the firebender, right?
Yeah.
So you don't like spray and pray. You're not throwing rocks, wildly.
No.
You stand there in your stance and you just boom, boom, let 2 rocks go. You hit one perfectly on like the shoulder right above the heart, and it gets the waterbender, and it gets them hard, and they go flying back a whole slot. They're just in the next area now. And I'm gonna mark a disorder, or not a, what's it called? Condition? Status effect. I'm gonna mark a status effect for them. They're gonna be impaired now.
Nice.
So you wanged them. You also hit the waterbender. I'm sorry, you also hit the firebender, and it gets them really hard, but they seem a little bit more, better built. They also fall back into the next zone, but they don't look as impaired by it. They just were hit by the initial impact, but they just, they take it. They recognize that they, lost step, and they're back in the fight.
So we have 2 of the 3 back.
You have 2 of the 3 back, correct? Because there's one more still in the area. They are gonna the game's basically gonna continue.
Yep.
And so they the waterbender is gonna try to the waterbender tried to defend. It didn't mean anything. You can see the waterbender as the stone passes them and kind of shatters on there's like a very pathetic little sprinkling of water that was probably going to be some sort of defensive maneuver that didn't even have a chance to manifest. It was just, oh no, they're completely ruined. The firebender, on the other hand, strikes back, and they strike at you, Neho.
Okay.
They're going to roll. I don't have to roll. Haha. So that I'm gonna have to ask you to mark 1 fatigue as the firebender shoots fire towards you after regaining themselves ferociously. They seem mad at you. They didn't expect this sort of fight from, no offense, this team specifically.
Let it be known that when Neho knocked them out, like, Kisama was on her feet. She's got pickles up in the air. Yeah!
And the people around you that you were threatening to cheer are now doing it of their own volition.
Nice.
And last but not least, their earthbender is also going to seize a position. They're going to move, obviously not into your space, but to the very edge of the space, and just be as close to you as possible. And they raise a wall in front of themselves.
With the discs, like...
Yeah, so there's like 4, or I guess it would be 6 discs, like on top of each other, kind of like a
Cool.
boop, 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 like a imagine the way that the dots are in a D6.
Oh, yeah.
Boo, no camping. Boo.
Okay, that was one exchange. The way that the exchanges work is that after the exchange is resolved, you don't necessarily have to continue combat. You can speak or do other things if you want. But once anybody does something aggressive, whether that be your opponents or yourselves, we're going to go into another exchange and resolve it the same way. So what are you going to do?
I intend to continue aggression.
Okay, well then by all means,
Are you
continue
attacking?
aggression.
No, I think I can gain altitude and perspective a little more naturally than most on the court, which means that I can kind of get over the top of that wall and sort of downward let a burst of air to try to get the earthbender out of position again as a setup. Like basically I'm opening him up for Niho. Tirza has continually done this sort of like assist layup kind of thing for Niho as their style on this team so far.
Is it fair to say you're bolstering or hindering?
Yes.
Okay, so can you go ahead and roll creativity or harmony? And you can also clear one fatigue, but I don't think you have a fatigue just yet.
Just sort of in life. It was kind of stressful. The first market I went to for that fire retardant, it wasn't there, which is why I was late. All right.
You know what? When you're ready, you actually do mark one fatigue. So you should have marked one fatigue, but now you get to clear it anyways, so that's fine.
Well, then I am still stressed about the fire retardant.
I agree. I am also.
But that was a 9 out of me.
9 is great. So do you think a fair status would be where's the list of, here we go. Would you prefer to empower Niho or to impair one of the opponents? Your choice.
Empower Niho.
Okay. Niho, you have the empowered status. So you get to clear one fatigue at the end of each exchange. Sweet. I'll say that's going to last for 2 exchanges.
Okay. And then would I be able to make a move?
Yep.
Okay, so at this, Ezra sees Tirza sort of glide past and distract the earthbender. He's going to take this stored heat that he's built up in his body, and you can see it radiate through and accumulate into one fist, and he's going to mark one fatigue to smash, destroy or destabilize something in the environment, this earth wall.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So he's going to be firebending his fist to enhance the heat, and it sort of radiates into the structure, weakening it and sort of crumbling it.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. I love that. Okay. So you put all of your force behind this blast. And very uncharacteristic healer of you, but just total embracing the firebender.
I will say it's an open palm strike.
Oh, okay. Yes. Fair enough. You just let a little bit of that, that training of like the real fire. Has your character trained as like a firebender the like traditional way, quote unquote?
Only briefly.
So you do remember some of it, and you let it out the way that they taught you to, with the control, but also with the passion behind it, and the wall, because the discs of earth have holes in them, right? So the force of your attack combined with the fact that the earthbender can feel the fire, feel the flame through the wall for sure. He drops his focus, and the earth shatters into his face.
Open, and then he ducks.
And then Niho is going to strike again and just like send as many discs straight forward as she can to just
into the
knock him all
earthbender.
the way back.
Nice. Go ahead, and that's going to be another just regular strike. Go ahead and roll with passion.
From the sands, you just hear, "Yes, Ezra, yes, I'm so proud of you. That's what I'm talking about.
I did it. 10 plus 2.
Oh my goodness. Bam, 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 bam. The earthbender goes flying back and is in the is in the second ring. They do still get to resolve the things they've done to you all as well. That you did knock them all back, and the exchange when the exchange is over, we will resolve that. But they do still get to resolve their actions as well, obviously.
They could knock all of us, sure.
Yeah, exactly. So the Waterbender is fearful. So the Waterbender is going to try and defend themselves, which is not helping anybody because they weren't targeted. It was the Earthbender that was targeted. But after they defend themselves and see that the Earthbender has been pushed back and that they basically could have prevented that, they look steeled now. They don't look afraid anymore. They think that they messed up and they're going to make up for it. The Earthbender, because I'm going to say because you rolled so high, they're going to skip what they were going to do.
Yeah.
They had a plan and you've completely ruined it by rolling again extraordinarily high. And then the Firebender, being probably the most cliche representation of a Firebender that has ever existed, is going to simply strike again. He's going to strike out at Niho one more time.
So I just take another fatigue on that.
Yeah, you're going to go ahead and mark one more fatigue for me.
Okay.
Does everyone have 5 fatigue, or is it per?
I think it's
book?
global. Everybody. I mean,
Okay.
NPCs might be different. Like strong NPCs might have more fatigue, and weak NPCs might have less. But I think the players all have 5. And judging by the fact that nobody is contradicting me, I think I'm right. So, having knocked everyone back into the second ring, you hear a buzzer burp, and the announcer come out, who's been narrating this series of events. But honestly, you're so in the moment when you're fighting, you don't even hear it. You just hear the sound of the elements fighting and the grunt of the opponents over the deafening sound of the announcer. But as you realize that you've won this bout, and you hear the announcer's voice slowly fade into your consciousness, he's saying, "Oh my goodness, it is an upset. The Scorpion Bees have been knocked back. An entire section. The Pygmy Pumas are in the lead. We still have 45 seconds to go in this bout, however. We'll see what happens when they start again. In 3, 2, 1. As you all move up to take your new position, a buzzer sounds again, and you start one more exchange. So, okay, I think the way we're supposed to do this is you're supposed to explain whether you're defending, advancing, or evading, not the specific action that you take.
Got it.
And then once we get that order, then we'd go one by one through the defending, advancing, and invading, and evading, and discuss the specific action that you take in the prescribed order. So why doesn't everybody just describe whether you're defending, advancing, or evading first?
Ezra is going to be evading, but bolstering. So he's going to move behind Niho and is going to be doing something to bolster Niho.
Okay. Ezra is evading.
Niho is attacking, advancing, and striking again.
Yep, I figured. That's working pretty well for you so far.
Yep.
And Tirza is defending, maneuvering. They're retaliating.
Gotcha. Okay.
Maybe we do make a really good team. Hold on.
Maybe you
Please
should
don't
trust
jinx it yet.
Oh yeah.
Ezra, we've talked about it.
Sorry.
Can't count your sections before the time's up.
So we're gonna go with Niho and with their Earthbender and with their Firebender first. I'm sorry, it's defending first. Sorry. So we're gonna go with Tirza and their Waterbender first. So Tirza, you are doing a bolster, is that right?
No, so I'm doing retaliation. I'm doing retaliation if I can on behalf of Niho. So if hits come at me, then I'm not defending.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm trying to defend for Niho because
I think that sounds
she's
totally
gonna get
reasonable.
targeted.
Yeah.
And inflicts 1 fatigue on that foe.
That's the hope. If they go for Niho,
Yeah.
they regret it, which is building up an airstream for whatever's coming in to get pushed to the side.
Gotcha. So each time a foe inflicts fatigue, a condition, or shifts, in this case, not your balance, in this case, Niho's balance, because I think this is a totally reasonable use of this skill. In this exchange, inflict 1 fatigue on that foe. Cool. So you conjure up this swirl, and you see that it's kind of ready to intercept anything that may come Niho's way. And you see their Waterbender do something very similar. You see a sheet of ice form. It's not actually anchored to the ground, though. It's just kind of floating on a small segment of water that's kind of like suspending the ice in front of the players. Yeah, and it's just, chilling there. It's a pretty interesting technique, one that you don't think you've necessarily seen before.
Is it legal?
You don't hear any buzzers, so presumably it is. And okay, so those are the two defenders. Next is the advance and attack. So Niho, that's you again, correct?
Yes.
So go ahead and roll with passion.
Oh, it's not good. That's a 4 total on that.
That is not good. You are going to try and launch one of the earth discs out of one of the dispensers, or a couple of the dispensers, presumably, and half of them jam.
Oh no.
You feel like 3 discs just won't. And if you pull any harder, you might either break the disc or break the dispenser. And so you decide, okay, I'm not going to. And you kind of relax a little bit. And as you're relaxing and trying to figure out what to do next, it kind of throws you off. And you see fire and earth just coming straight for you. I'm going to... does that remove the retaliate? Does that remove each time a flow inflicts fatigue condition or shifts your balance in this exchange, inflict 1 fatigue? No. Okay, so you still are going to mark 2 fatigue, but I'm also going to mark 1 fatigue for the 2 benders that attacked you. As they're sorry, go ahead.
Oh, it's for their blows.
Right. And how many of those did I wipe from the bolster last round on Niho? It was 2 rounds, so like 2 fatigue.
Oh, that's true. It's 1 fatigue at the end of this round.
1 for yeah.
Yeah. So it's one for the end of last round, 1 for the end of this round.
Okay, end of round. Thank you.
So you take 2 fatigue and mark one of them removed, and then they're each going to take 1 fatigue. And you see the Waterbender looks beat, like they're done. They're completely just exhausted. And then Ezra, you are evading.
Yeah, so Ezra's going to take the evade action bolster for Niho and sees that like the discs are sort of jamming, and he's taken up position behind her, and you can see a sort of slow, gradual movement that he's doing over her back and like lower muscles and legs, and there's a low, like bluish flame that is over Ezra's palms, and then he's going to eliminate 1 fatigue.
Oh, nice! That's awesome.
From Niho.
So you feel this like not heat. You feel this warmth wash over your body, and you kind of feel a little bit tingly as your muscles start to loosen up, and you kind of get back in with focus and determination.
You got this, Niho.
I got this.
As you say you got this, Niho, you feel the floor of the arena shake. And it's not earthbending shaking. It's not localized to one place and spreading out. It's almost as if an earthquake's happening. And as you think that to yourselves, you look up and you see the audience is kind of like thrown aback. And Liv, you feel this in a completely different way. As you've been seeing them bend earth at each other, you may have felt, a little bit of shaking here and there, but you haven't felt the ground beneath you move, but you definitely do now. And it's very clearly an earthquake from your perspective. And the ground shakes. And you see a small part of the arena kind of like chip off and fall into the what's it called? The dam. Maybe a couple of like dust particles from the ceiling. And as suddenly as it had started, everything calms. The audience is murmuring to itself. There's no more cheering or shouting anymore. And there's a little bit of time and a beat. And then the announcer comes back on. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think you may have realized it before I got to explain it, but it feels like we've had some kind of seismic activity here. I can assure you that was not either of the earthbenders in the arena. Am I right? Very forced laugh. Like, you definitely think that it would have been better for the announcer to not force that laugh than it was for them to do it that poorly. We're terribly sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to take a couple of minutes to make sure that the arena is still safe, to clear some debris from the moat beneath the arena, to make sure that our competitors are safe, and to let our competitors breathe and catch themselves. We want to assure everybody that this is still a totally safe event. We don't have anything to worry about. We don't want anybody to panic. Please calmly, while we investigate, please just clear the arena space and clear the stands. We will let everybody back in approximately 15 minutes, and everybody will get a free bag of popcorn or small drink on us. And there's like a little bit of like unenthusiastic, yay, as people start to clear. The waterbender looks at you, Niho, like you are now her worst enemy, just staring daggers at you.
Niho is returning the stare, but is like kind of like straightens her shoulders a little bit, like, okay, sure.
As soon as that exchange happens, Ezra books it over to the waterbender that is down and starts doing the same sort of technique. Are you okay? That was quite a hit you took.
The firebender and the earthbender both ready themselves. The firebender's like, this isn't like a stance, like there's flame erupting from his fists, and the earthbender, as fast as you can think, has, you know, discs in front of himself. You hear the two earthbenders on, the two earthbenders on either side of the arena that do the bridge. They're shouting, "You no more bending! No, don't do it! Don't do it! You'll be disqualified! Don't bend!" And they say the two opponents that you have say, "Don't take another step closer."
I just want to make sure you're okay. Okay, go backing up. Goodbye. Good game. Good GG.
As you walk away, you see and hear the earth discs fall to the floor. And the earthbender walks over to you. What was that?
I was just trying to heal. It looked like a pretty bad hit.
That's not your job. Get back in the prep arena. You're lucky you're not disqualified.
Hey, go easy on him.
He walks away.
He doesn't need that out of you.
He definitely continues to walk away.
Thanks, Tirza.
Hey, do you think this is safe? A piece of ceiling just came down. How can they tell us that it's safe in like the next 15 minutes? If those audience come back in, someone could get hurt.
Just so we're clear, it was there was some like small debris, like dust particles from the ceiling, and a small piece of the arena fell off.
Got it.
Not that changes your point, but I just want to be clear about that.
Tirza's hyperbolic.
True.
Well, let's go check in with Kisima and see what we should do.
Yeah.
And we'll like sort of make our way back across that bridge. And Ezra definitely wants to like pat Niho on the back and sort of, if you have any more fatigue, sort of gradually heal. This is sort of something that they've done before.
That's fair. And as you step out of the arena, there's cactus juice waiting for you in these small little coconuts.
It's so
filled with
crunchy.
cactus juice. And as you drink it, you can clear all fatigue that you have.
Yay!
Liv, how do you react to the situation?
I'm definitely concerned. I'm looking around trying to like see, at least from like my seat, because I think I'm like a little bit further away. I can get a bigger, better view. I'm trying to see if there's any signs of like, I don't know, just like any other kind of activity, if there was bending. It's also not uncommon for, spirits now to kind of just like, or like spiritual energy. So I'm like, is there any weird glowing things? Are there any like little flicks of spirits? I'm just trying to like get a better perspective on what is going on, like macro, not micro.
So are you trying to assess a situation, perhaps?
Ooh.
Yes, I am.
Great.
Yes.
So roll with creativity, please.
Oh god. Okay, wait. What are my? I think creativity is pretty good for me, but I have to double check my stats. Okay. I'm all the way at the end of the book. Oh, worm. Okay, cool. I, I do have good.
And while you're getting ready, I'll just explain. There are for assess a situation, there are a couple of questions that you can ask. If you roll a 7 to a 9, you get to ask one question. On a 10 or up, you get to ask two questions. The questions are: what here can I use to blank? Who or what is the biggest threat? What should I be on the lookout for? What's my best way out or in or through? And who or what is in the greatest danger? So I'm going to assume that you're asking, what should I be on the lookout for?
Yeah, because
right?
I got an 8, so I only get
Nice.
1.
But
Yes.
still, success.
Okay.
But still,
Great.
helpful.
What should I be on the lookout for? So you're, and just to clarify, can you just explain one more time exactly what it is that you're
Oh, yeah.
looking for? Like what are you on the lookout for?
I'm on the lookout to see if there's anything in the arena that would indicate that this is not a pure act of nature.
Okay, great. In that case, you notice that there are a couple of the Republic City police there, which is in and of itself not abnormal, right? There are definitely police at these events because it's a room full of benders and they're doing violence at each other. And so the police just need to be there just in case. There are a couple of more than normal. And they look a little bit too unconcerned about what just happened.
Okay. Good to know. Not at all concerning that, our police force doesn't seem to care. Yeah, so I think I just kind of scoop Pickles back up. I definitely clock or at least overhear some of the yelling. I don't think I hear the words, but I just see somebody yelling at Ezra.
You're for sure paying attention to your team
vendors.
in this moment, 100%.
Yeah, which is so upsetting. I'm already stupid. Everybody knows that Ezra used to heal, and so I just scoop up Pickles. I'm like, you know what? Let's just go find the team. Let's go find the people. Let's go find our people. And I just leave and make a beeline straight for the team.
So are you going back to their prep area?
Yeah, to our our prep area, our room.
As you enter, again at the same time with impeccable timing, that same stage manager from before with the clipboard and her two little interns following her. I'm so sorry, everybody. That is just an act of nature. We didn't. That wasn't any of you, was it?
I didn't do it.
No.
Okay. Just want to make sure. We didn't expect it. We just needed to double check. Is everybody okay? Is anybody hurt? Do you need anything? I think you're entitled to either a small free drink or a small free popcorn. Do you want me to go grab those for you, or?
I'll take a drink and Pickles will take popcorn. Thank you.
They're about to say that Pickles doesn't count, but they think better of it and just are you can see in their head, I'm just going to pay for Pickles' things. It's not worth it. Anything else for the rest of you that I can get you?
Just an assurance that you're going to relocate that waterbender's shoulder because Niho is a pretty devastating fighter.
I personally won't be able to do that because I don't know how, but I'm sure that our medical staff will be on it.
They're the best.
Flies on. Anything else I can get you?
Speaking of being on it, are the police doing any sort of wellness checks on the area?
I'm not entirely sure how much the Republic City Police is going to be involved. Nothing illegal happened, and nobody, as far as we know, is in any danger. I'm sure they'll walk the perimeter. Is there something that they should be concerned about that I should let them know?
I mean, it's just, as a Republic City citizen, I would just hope that they would be thorough, but...
Oh, yeah. I'll relay your concerns to them if that it brings you any comfort.
Thank you.
Certainly. Yeah. Anything else?
No.
Okay. Well, if you can think of anything, feel free to reach out. You know where to find me. do you know where to if you just leave through this door and then at the end of the stands there's like a small stairway that goes down further into the arena, and it looks like it's going to lead to the exit, but it doesn't. It leads to a production area. That's where I am, so feel free, just whenever you need, go ahead and come down there, and I'll just, I mean, except for during the event. Get it? Okay, never mind. I'm going. Come with me this time. Don't stand here like idiots. And they all leave.
Oh, there's no need for that.
Kisima, what's going on? Why did you ask about the police?
I call it a hunch. I'm not quite sure, but after everything was going on and people were freaking out, and I understand that we have a very, very capable police force. The Metalbenders are quite impressive, but they just were standing around. Didn't really seem unfazed. And I get that, it's not abnormal for natural reaction or small natural things to happen. I wouldn't call this a disaster, but I don't know.
But it could be a foreshock. It could be an aftershock. Do you think we should offer the Scorpion Bees a draw?
No, absolutely not.
Oh, just when we were doing well for once.
Exactly, so they'll take it. If there's a chance that something brings down the arena,
I will fight until the arena falls on my head. I'm not gonna take it.
But what about everyone out there?
Oh, I guess maybe.
We can't control the actions of other spectators. If people want to watch you three dominate that field and win this game, who are we to stop them?
Ezra, are you okay with this?
I don't know about dominate, but we could certainly try to do our best. I mean, we haven't heard from anyone whether this was just a natural earthquake or if there was something more nefarious.
What difference does it make? If it could happen again, if it's happening now and they don't know what caused it, they can't figure that out in 15 minutes. That's messed up. They're just assuming it's okay and sending us back in.
Do you think we should investigate?
Well, I think that the staff is investigating right now.
Do you trust them more than you trust you, Kisima?
Oh, no, I don't trust anybody as much as I trust this team to win, which is why we're here. But we have 15 minutes, right?
Yeah, that's what the announcer said.
But if you all don't think that if you don't want to take this 15 minutes to settle and refresh, we could spend it taking a look around.
Whoosh.
Oh, just to make sure it's safe. Oh, and they're gone.
And as they, where are you wishing to?
I think Tirza is going to whoosh back out into the arena, like where the piece of the rock felt. They might whoosh up by the ceiling, just basically. They have a glider.
Sure.
Yeah.
As you whoosh through the door, not door is the wrong word. As you whoosh through the archway that leads into the arena, you notice there are very few people inside. There's one or two kind of custodial people like walking around cleaning, and you see somebody that you think you recognize as somebody like pretty high up at the arena. Either they own the building or they're really high up in the organization that manages the event or something like that. And they're walking around kind of inspecting things with a couple of other people that look a little bit too important for what they're doing. Do you know the kind of person I'm talking about?
I know exactly. Can I dive out of the way, maybe up into rafters or down along a wall and just try to drop eaves?
I would like you to, for this maneuver, rely on your skills and training.
I would love to rely on my skills and my training.
Wow.
Wow.
That is rolling with focus.
Yes, it is. That's an 8.
Okay. So you dodge out of the way, and are you gonna land somewhere?
So I imagine if they're on
we'll say they're the lowest part of the audience.
That part of the stands. I think I was intending to go check out the arena. So I'm down in the arena, along the wall of it. That would, if you followed it all the way down, it'd go to the moat.
Oh, okay.
Like the outside wall, so they looking down couldn't see me.
Gotcha.
And I'm just sort of floating nearby, listening upward.
Oh, okay. That is pretty creative. I did not expect you to do that.
Sam DeLev, everybody.
So you're
to know one.
you're floating, and as you're floating next to the wall, you feel your what did you call your cart thing?
Glider.
The thing that you glider. Thank you. Thing that you used to float. You feel the edge of your glider scrape up against the side of the wall, and it's nothing too loud. It's not like they're going to hear it, but roll me relying on your skills and training one more time.
Absolutely.
Just to see if your character can make the connection. Maybe you as a player already have.
Boom, 12.
Oh wow.
What?
You're worried about the fire retardant material that you've put on. With it scraping it off a little bit. You feel like if you go any further away from the wall, they might see you. And if obviously, so you have to kind of like rub your glider very close to the edge. So you might want to think about reapplying that when you have an opportunity to. And from this, you hear, you're in the middle of a conversation. So maybe the first part of it got cut off, but you hear them say, I don't think it was going to. Yeah, but I think maybe that if we just take a couple minutes and we just really look at it and just double check, because it hasn't been that large. Yes, I know, but it's like the difference between like 1 or like 1.3. Like what's really, is it like that big of a deal? Like if we can survive like a 4 or 5, who's to say that a 1.3 is going to cause even like a cosmetic amount of damage? Can you see any damage? I don't see any damage. No, I guess I don't. I don't. What do you think? And these were the two kind of lackeys that were walking along. They seem relatively knowledgeable about whatever it is that they're talking about, but just unsure, right?
Yeah, there's numbers, but it's like them making the determination. They're not qualified to like make the call.
Exactly.
What does the suit?
This
say?
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
The quote suit.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm not sure. I think I need to talk to Gravone first. But I don't want to postpone. This is a tough call. What do you think if we just leave it up to the event to decide? Yeah, it's hit or miss, but you have to understand it's going to be your neck if something happens. Okay, I really don't want to make Gravone angry. Can you just stall for me a little bit? I need some time. Okay, yeah. If they come up to us with any questions, we'll tell them that we're making an assessment still. I guess it might worry them more than anything else that it's taking this long. Yeah, I know. Just do your best. I'll figure it out as quickly as I can. And the suit kind of separates, and the other two continue to walk through the stands, and you can follow them for as long as you like. I
gotta fly back to Kasima now. I think that's that's the core of it. Getting the information back sounds like the best thing I could do with my time, so that they can act more intelligently on that basis.
Cool. So you have two options here. You think you can wait for a little bit of time and delay going back to wait for them to walk closer to the door that you need to use to exit. You can exit from a different door behind them where they probably won't see you. But you'll still have to rely on your skills and training, or you can beeline straight for the door to the arena, which at this point is on the opposite side of the arena. So you'd have a very long distance to go for them to see you. So either a little bit of time, or you can leave now and have to travel a little bit longer to get to your group, but it would be a little less risky, or you can do high risk and almost instantly arrive in the training room. It's up to you. Or alternatively, you can assess the situation, try to find another means of doing the same thing. Obviously, that's always an option for everyone. I'm not going to keep saying that, but just so you guys know.
We'll take it as understood here on out.
Thank you.
Tirza is going to. They're always going to try to outskill. It may work, it may not, but they're not going to do the thing that takes time, and they're not going to do the thing that's like fast and effective, but like they will definitely be spotted and might infer they'd been heard. So Tirza is going to fly up that wall and actually get behind them. And then when they pass a column, Tirza's going to fly up the column and then ceiling out. Because we all know from video games, no one ever looks up.
That's so true.
So that's going to be a rely on your skills and training. And I want you to know before you commit by making the roll that if you partially fail or totally fail, they're going to see you either way.
Okay.
One way you're going to get there before they see you. The other way, they're going to see you as you're exiting the arena.
Okay, so on a 7 to 9, they see me?
Yeah, on a 7 to 9, you're going to get out and they're going to see someone leave the arena.
Okay, someone, and then on a 6 or below.
On a 6 or below, they see you the whole way and they see your face and they go, "Oh, hey, isn't that the airbender from..."
Cool. You know what? Is it... I might reconsider. Tirza isn't going to.
That was the best thing I've ever heard. I might reconsider, but Tirza isn't going to.
You know, the dice say 5, but the modifier says 7.
Ooh, there's a huge difference between those two numbers.
Yeah.
Bless
I love that.
They're always going to try out skill. So I think it's very much the riskiest moment of it is floating immediately behind them.
Yep.
And as they get over a railing, that same part of the glider that had all of that like kind of soft, almost waxy fire retardant scraped off, clangs against it. And they turn to look and see what the noise was, and Tirza tries to whip it around.
And you do, and
direction.
And you definitely like pivot hard. And this is like, you're very much relying on the airbending side of this and not very much relying on the glider at this point. You're just like, brute force, I'm going to go. And then you gun it. And the only thing you can think to do is just get as far away as possible before they can like gather their wits and figure out what's going on. And you just beeline straight for the door and you hear them shout, "Hey, what? Hey!" And as they shout that, you're in the room. So that you know that they saw you, but you're confident that they did not see who you were. Cool. And given that airbenders exist now, and I don't think we generally discussed exactly what era we're participating in, but this is post Legend of Korra. Airbenders are a thing now. If it wasn't readily apparent by the conversation that we had, boy, I need to make a note to talk about this at the beginning of each episode. What era we're in? Sure. Thanks for pointing that out. So yeah, airbenders are a thing. I think this glider apparatus is something that's common amongst airbenders. It's a tool that they use to get around in general.
You have a modified one though, right?
Yeah, because it's an assistive device, I think it would be like, it would very much tag me as exactly who I am. So do we want to say maybe like they got to see shoulders up? So like they might recognize the face if they saw me again, but not the like super distinctive. Okay. There are probably only 3 of us at all, and maybe one with a glider here today. Yeah, I think that's fair. And now that I'm thinking about it, even if it was a common device, it wouldn't be common inside an arena, right? Unless it was an assistive device like that. Okay, so in that case, they're going to have seen the upper part of your body and not the glider part. So as you turn into the door, there you can kind of poke your head back out and see that they're looking at the spot on the wall where your glider was scraping, and they're like, "What is that? Does that have something to do with the? What is? I don't even. I mean, you can't hear this, but you can see them kind of discussing it. And that having been said, we're going to take our little break initially. We'll be back in, I don't remember exactly how long, and Jake's going to be mad at me for forgetting that number. I think it's 10 minutes. Yeah, we'll be back in 10 minutes. Thank you very much. We'll see you guys soon. And we're back. We're going to take a step back in time, not to retcon anything or anything like that, but we did have an entire group of people sitting in the prep/training room while
Kasima went out and learned some things.
Tirza.
So I'm so sorry, Tirza. Well, Tirza flew out of the room and learned some things. So let's cut back to you guys. You see Tirza at the room.
So, I hope they know what to look for.
I'm sure that they will find whatever they think is important and they will bring it back, and I'm just gonna let them do this.
If they get caught, we'll definitely get disqualified.
Ezra?
Just
Sweetie.
That's what the
Sweetie,
rules.
Sweetie, do you think that's a very useful thing to tell me right now in this moment?
Well, maybe not useful, but you shouldn't. Okay.
Maybe, yeah. Sweet bean.
You hear some shuffling by the door, as though like there's not enough room to accommodate all of the people. And then finally somebody knocks.
Niho, can you get that?
Yeah, Niho will open it and try to be as much in that doorway as possible. Like, crack it open.
I love our big buff girl.
Yes.
Niho, you see a Republic City police officer, towering woman, just like if you were far away, you'd think, oh, this must be a 9-foot person. Like they're very tall. They're shockingly tall and built, jacked to the nines. Very kind look on their face. You definitely can tell they mean business, but they're not aggressive towards you or anything like that. I don't want you to worry that they're very big, but they definitely look powerful. And next to them, there is a shorter gentleman, older gentleman, like balding, wearing a very elaborate robe, and a look on his face that says, do you know who you're talking to? Just kind of like, you know the kind of face that I'm talking about?
Yes.
Good. The two of them, and then you see a different stage manager, not the one that has been popping into this room over and over again, just another individual with a clipboard. This one looks a little bit older, a little bit more experienced, a little bit less flustered. And they say, not they as a group, the older gentleman in the very elaborate robe. Hello, my name is Juan. I am here to have a quick discussion with yourself. I'm here to have a quick discussion with Ezra and obviously with your manager. If I could get all of you in one place, is that something that we could do now, or?
Niho like kind of like closes the door a little bit and like looks back at like the other two, and then opens it fully for them to come in and steps aside.
Oh, very kind of you. Thank you. I promise I won't take too much of your time. And he kind of looks up at the Republic City police officer, and she goes, I just need to talk to whoever it is that wanted to talk to me. Sorry, I don't know who wanted to. Somebody back here wanted, and she like pokes her head in. Did any of you call for a police person to?
Kisima like touches up her hair, tries to look as professional and as together as possible. There we go. Hi, yes. I just wanted to check in and make sure that things were okay.
So the Juan, what did I
Yep.
I think, yeah.
Fancy robe. That's what I have in my notes.
Juan is going to be a fancy name. Huaun.
Hua.
Yeah.
Oh.
He's going to kind of scooch past you and into the room with Niho and with Ezra. The police officer is going to beckon for you to come over, Kisima.
I go over.
Is something wrong, or I just don't understand exactly what it is that you need. Sorry, do you need me to come back later, or?
No. Yeah, sorry. I'm thinking me, Liv the player. I'm thinking how we want to play this one.
Okay. Do you want me to go to the other group first and then come back here?
Oh, no, it's okay. I got it. I think Kisima kind of like smooths her hands down her dress and looks up with this like poor me kind of expression.
Okay.
Well, you can understand it's just my first time here with my team, and I guess my nerves were a little heightened. And so when I looked around and I saw that, the Republic City police officers, who usually are so thorough and really instill trust in me as a citizen, seem to just be standing around and twiddling their thumbs.
Can you roll with Harmony to plead?
The niceness veil cracks just a little bit.
What do you mean? I'm just the sweetest thing.
Underestimate me.
That's basically it.
Will me? Okay, yeah, it'll be plead. And you said with Harmony?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. It's an 8. It's an 8.
Okay.
Oh, that's good.
I got an 8.
Oh,
Okay.
gotcha.
So plead is when you plead with an NPC who cares what you think for help, support, or action. If you roll a 7 through 9, they need something more evidence that this is the right course, guidance in making the right choices, or resources to aid them before they act. So they're going to look at you and say, "You say that the officers inside the arena at the time of the event didn't care? Is that what I'm getting?"
At least that's what it seemed like to me.
Okay, why did it seem like that? That's a very serious accusation you're making of those officers. Which side of the arena were you on?
Well, I'm the manager of the team. So I was sitting a little bit in a higher box, very, very comfortable seats. And so I have a view of everything. And I saw these specific officers, and I described them as best as I can.
And you can
from my
definitely
memory.
remember what they look like. You were
Yeah.
paying very close attention to them.
Yeah. And I don't know. It just seemed very nonchalant. And I understand I might be coming off as a little paranoid, but
I see. Well, I normally wouldn't do this, but given that you're from a respectful family, I think it makes sense for me to at least investigate. I'm not going to take any action against the officers. I definitely can't with just your word, but I will assign somebody that I trust, somebody that I know a little bit better, to just watch over everybody inside and just make sure that everything's going okay. Does that sound fair?
that totally that's perfect. That's so much more than enough. May I get your name?
Oh, sure. My name is Guard Captain Misit. M-I-S-S-I-T.
M-I-S-I-T. Let me see. Thank you. I appreciate that. My family is always trying to, give back to Republic City, and sometimes it's better to have names
Absolutely.
that I can remember to make sure that,
A name can tell you a lot about someone. Thank you very, very much for bringing this to our attention. It's nice to see citizens that actually, want to look out for the greater good. You can tell that this is like boilerplate stuff that they don't believe in at all. They're slightly annoyed, but they definitely also have a sense of like duty that they need to follow through with this, at least in the most basic way possible, just in case. They seem very like by the book. They're definitely you're comfortable that they're going to actually do something about this.
Love that.
Is there anything else that I can do? Anything else you want to discuss before I have to go pretty soon here? I need to get back to my post.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, if you need me, just talk to any of the officers and they'll come find me for you. And she leaves.
Oh no, I was gonna say go back to the rest of the group.
Yeah.
While that's happening, Ezra sidles up to Niho and looks over at Juan and just says, "How we may be of service."
Okay. This is a little difficult for me to. So I'm just gonna come out and say it, I guess. Niho, the performance that you put on was spectacular, and I don't think anybody would fault you for that sort of aggressive, get them. You can tell this person doesn't know how to bend and does not watch pro bending ever. They're way out of their, they're just like fighting. And you're like, Okay, sure.
Ezra's in it. He's like, yeah. You get it.
And it was wonderful. And we're gonna sell tons of tickets just from that one move alone. We're gonna get pictures posted in the papers. And actually, we could probably also do a radio spot with that. Anyways, sorry.
Are you here to accuse me of perhaps causing the earthquake?
Oh, absolutely not. No, you're definitely not a strong enough bender to do that. Even I know that.
I don't know about that.
Okay.
What? I mean,
I definitely slide in. I'm not saying anything, but I like do the manager thing. And I slide right next to Neho.
okay, so you're making it totally obvious that you're butting in here. You see that Juan.
Oh, I'm not butting in. I'm present.
Yeah, but you're not trying to hide the fact that you're listening, right? You're just like, I am here now. Okay. You see Juan make a note that you are now like within earshot of the conversation. But not he doesn't acknowledge it overtly, right? He just looks at you for a beat and then goes back to everybody else. I'm not accusing you of causing any damage or anything to the event as a whole, but with the way that you so unexpectedly and kind of single-handedly defeated your opponents today, and also with the altercation that Ezra had after the event, it's kind of left some bad blood in the air. And we're wondering if when we come back from our little safety break, which by the way, it's been like 25 minutes already and we need to probably get back pretty soon. If we could just have like a moment where the two of you and two representatives from their team go into the middle and have a nice handshake photo op opportunity. How does that sound?
With me and Neho, but I didn't do anything wrong.
Oh, how do I put this in a way that you'll understand?
Ezra's former position, right?
Me, I'm sorry, I don't really follow the league.
Well, it's actually just my parents, but they are part of the medical team here at the Pro Bending League.
Right, and I'm definitely not accusing your parents of anything. But
you are accusing my player.
I'll shake hands. I'll do whatever. I'll do it.
Ma'am, I will say I'm actually not accusing your player of anything. I'm merely stating a fact. What the audience saw is something that made them feel tense. And we don't want our audience leaving feeling tense. We want them to leave feeling excited. The feeling of the event is the most important part of the event. If we don't elicit the correct emotion, then we're not doing our job. And he's talking in a very like stagey kind of way, like almost rehearsed. And you can tell it's not really his thing. You can hear the rehearsal almost, but he also seems to believe it.
Do I recognize this person?
You can roll a thing.
Okay.
Like the one that lets you learn stuff and that I forgot the name of. And it's called
Assess the situation.
Yes. You can do that.
What is it? The
assess the situation.
Assess. Okay. Yeah. Okay. 1 minute. I'm looking at one of my moves.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to remember what it does. Okay. Oh, never mind. This guy is not worth all of that. Spend resources. No, he's not worth that. Okay.
If you say so.
No. Ooh, okay. Roll with creativity. I think that's my good stat. Yes, okay, I got a 10.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, okay.
2 questions.
Yep.
2 questions. I mean, this isn't a question on the list, but I think could I just literally ask, who is this dude as well?
Yeah, I was just about to say, like, this list of questions seems a little bit limiting, and there might be a reason for that, but I'm just going to say that you can just ask 2 questions.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Like,
So,
you don't have to strictly stick to this list.
okay.
So the first
Yeah,
one being, who is this?
Who is this? And I actually think I am going to use the second question, but I will second question from this list, but I'll wait for you to answer first.
Yep, totally fair. And I will say that while we will play a little bit loose with assess the situation, there will be limits, such as how do I defeat this? Like, there will be some questions that might be off limits.
That's the pointlessly game-breaking question that undermines the concept of narrative, which is the whole point of why we're here.
Yep, and now
Don't
that
play
you're saying
the game
that
in
out
bad
loud,
faith.
you're saying that out loud, I'm like, well, why would I ever expect any of you specifically to do anything like that?
Well,
We're
So-
monsters.
Hey, listen, I'm here to win. Okay, I'm not here to play. I'm here to win. A TTRPG.
You have an adorable animal companion wrapped like a stole around your neck right now. You already won, Kissima, my friend.
That's you know what?
I mean-
You're so right, bestie.
Okay, so you know that this person's name is Juan. You know who Juan is, though. You have seen Juan at various parties. Juan is Gravon's assistant, personal assistant, somebody who's fiercely loyal to Gravon, always near enough, like within earshot, to run over and do something for him. Your parents have actually talked to you about Gravon on various occasions. Nothing like super detailed or very like intimate, no like industry secrets, but they're just like, oh yeah, Gravon seems like a great person, like a philanthropist. His assistant's a slimy weasel, though. I don't like him. I've never been in a situation where he tells me the truth, where anything he does is anywhere close to reasonable. Every time he does anything, it's always for his own self-interest or Gravon's self-interest. That's it. Everything he does. Even if he has the opportunity to do something and like further his own interests while furthering somebody else's interests, he doesn't. He just furthers his own interests and stops. He will make effort to prevent other people from getting good things. He's the worst. Scumbag. Oh.
I love my parents.
So theatrical.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, they are, or at least my mother is. What? Okay. I'm gonna rephrase this. How would I intimidate him if the time ever called for it?
Juan is of the kind of cut from the kind of stock that is easy to intimidate if you know the right, if you know his motivations. You know, just from recalling your conversation with your mother and kind of from this interaction right now, like you can kind of feel the slime in the air now that you're remembering it. You're like locked in on it. And while the rest of your party may or may not notice, you definitely notice. The thing that's most important to Juan is Gravon's perception of him.
Okay.
That is paramount to his existence almost. He's worked for Gravon for so long, and he's ingrained that work into his identity so aggressively that if anything were to jeopardize that, or if he would perceive anything as jeopardizing that, it would ruin him. He would do anything to prevent that. Like, and I mean, he would do anything. He would kill. It not off the table. He's very easily manipulated if you can convince him that is in jeopardy. You're fairly certain that there are other ways to manipulate him, but off the top of your head, you wouldn't be able to without talking to him longer.
Yeah, that's the one that I get off just like the first initial meeting.
Yep.
I'll do it. I'll shake your hand. It's fine.
We're not accusing you of anything. We just need to get the emotion right.
But Niho gets to come with, right?
Niho must come with. It's important that the two of you were both there. It felt like, for the audience, again, from their perspective, not from your perspective, not from the snaky rattlebacks or whatever the enemy team was, whatever. Not from their perspective either. Just the audience.
You haven't heard of the scorpion bees? They're the
Yeah,
most prominent.
that's what I said.
Okay.
Snaky rattlebacks. But just from the audience's perspective, it felt like, Niho, it felt like you had something against them, and then Ezra, it felt like you were kind of like trying to close that off. You were trying to say like, oh, I'm gonna get you. Again, we don't know if you said anything or what the history is between you. I don't want to speculate. I just want to get a photo op so that the integrity of the event can remain.
Of course, it's always good to put on a good face.
Of course, with your manager's approval, as he's kind of been like invested in remembering his script, and as you pull him back into like the real world, he remembers that you're there and tries to address you and kind of placate you almost. That's the feeling you're getting off of it.
I mean, I would hate to upset Mr. Gravone.
Oh yes, of course I would too. I don't. I mean, this is his event. He's sponsoring it. It's
Right.
Tied to his name, and that's really important to Gravone.
Right. Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, and all for the spirit of the sport, right?
Yeah, of course he's an avid fan, and well, I myself am not smart enough to really understand the nuance and kind of delicate intricacies
right,
of the sport.
absolutely. I get that. Yeah. So
That was me as a GM laughing. Sorry. Not him.
I like pull him aside, turn our backs to everybody. I'll talk to Niho.
Okay. All right.
You can just go to Gravone and tell him that everything's taken care of.
Oh, he trusts you implicitly. We've obviously we all trust you implicitly. We know you'll make this happen, and we appreciate it very much. I'm going to have the photographer.
Yes, go ahead.
I'm gonna have the photographer just wait outside for you. I think the scorpion beetles or silly stink bugs or whatever. They're already on their way. They had left the arena, but they're coming back. They'll be here in like 5 minutes. So, whenever you get the opportunity, it looks like the audience is coming back in soon. So just, whenever you have a chance.
Tell Gravone everything's fine. Go.
All right, thank you. Appreciate it. I very, very much appreciate it. You're very, very hardworking, and I love to see it. You're gonna go far. And he leaves.
As soon as the door turns, it all falls. I look right back at the other two. So what do you want to do? You want to play nice or no?
I think it's time that Terza gets back, but yeah.
I don't want to do it. It seems really ridiculous and unnecessary. But
What seems ridiculous and unnecessary?
Oh, well, I guess they want us to come down and shake hands with the other team because the audience perceived my healing as an offensive attack and that Niho was also going in for the kill.
aggressive.
Oh, so they're worried that we're intimidating. Sure, yeah, I'll shake their hand.
Darlings, you are not intimidating. They're intimidated.
Can it be both?
Whatever gets you in the right headspace.
Look, it just, but before we go out,
Yeah, what did you find out?
So I saw these like two kind of lackey guys and then this one fancy guy, and they were talking about Gravone.
The sponsor.
And they said, I don't think it was going to, but if we take a couple minutes and really look at it and double check, it hasn't. Double check, and like it hasn't been that large. And then they were talking about like 1s and 4s and 5s, and I don't really know what that meant. But they didn't want to make Gravone angry, and they wanted to leave it in charge of the event to decide something. Postponing, I think.
So they're not going to do anything about it themselves.
Well, it means they weren't from this.
From
the event. If they want to let the event decide, they have nothing to do with the pro bending.
Then
and they
who
were
are
talking
they?
About Gravone, and they seem to know a lot more about what was going on with that quake.
So maybe Casimo's right, and it wasn't natural.
I think like it hasn't been that large. What was it before? What is it?
Anyway, I think we should play nice for now, until we find out more information.
I think that's a good call. Yeah. Niho, I'm not going to make you do something that you don't want to do. But...
Yeah, I'm outnumbered. You've decided, I'll do it, whatever.
Thanks, Niho.
That's not how teams work.
Oh.
If you don't want to do it, we don't do it. And Tirza kind of looks at Cosima a little bit like, are you gonna like try to overrule? Just like kind of testing
But
the waters there.
sometimes when we work as a team, we have to make consequences. And then Ezra looks at Cosima, right? For harmony.
It's not about teams, darling. It's about business. And there's no denying the fact that it would be a good photo opportunity. It would. I'm sorry, it would. But the fact that they think that Ezra is some violent, heartless firebender and Niho is this aggressive and Niho is this aggressive, angry earthbender. It all just seems very outdated and I don't like it. I'm a woman of the future. So, if you don't want to, I won't make you.
But it would totally establish dominance over them if you did.
That's true.
I like that one. I like that.
I mean, I'm not going to say that you should like break anybody's fingers. Obviously, they need it. Then,
I was thinking about that.
Let's leave the phalanges intact.
Neo, do me a favor and roll to rely on your skills and training. That's focus.
Oh, okay. Well.
Oh no! Why does an earthbender need that right now?
That's an 8.
Ooh, okay.
You as you're having this conversation, and it kind of reaches the end, and you're thinking about what you want to do next. You feel a very slight tremor under your feet. This is like the earthbending side of you can feel it, not your feet. It's you're just by the sheer nature of your bending, you can tell that there is another slight tremor.
Is it increasing in severity,
Nope.
or is it just kind of just?
It's a little tiny like, wom, 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 and then it's gone as quickly as it started.
Felt something, but
What? Just now?
Like gas?
no, like Earth. Something about there was something. It's gone now, so
An aftershock?
maybe.
Can you tell where it comes from? When you bend?
You just know it was the ground beneath you.
No, too small, too indistinct. Just know that it happened.
Now I'm starting to rethink that draw.
If anyone could talk the scorpion bees into it.
Well, it seems like they're a little mad at the moment.
It seems like they're about to lose. Of course they're mad.
What if you all went out and kept playing? And while you play, I do some snooping around.
But if you think of any good coaching moves, like while you're there, just make sure to keep us on our toes, because I don't know if we can do it without you.
I like cup Ezra's chin and squeeze his cheeks. You're gonna be fine.
Okay.
You're gonna be okay. Niho, you said it was just beneath us, right?
The Earth is beneath us.
You know, I didn't wander out of a spirit portal yesterday. Thank you.
No, it was an indistinct. Nothing to be gained or gleaned from that.
Yeah, just to be clear for you, Niho, that could have been
Anywhere.
It could have been like a very heavy thing was dropped onto the ground. It could have been, any number of things. It just the earth shook. That's the extent of the detail.
Atlas shrugged. Just kidding. Okay, so maybe I'm not an earthbender, so maybe it's not the best call for me to go.
No. Down the hall like you're going to the exit, but it isn't actually there. That's the production office, right?
Oh, yeah.
Maybe they're
Yeah.
talking to the event. Maybe you can find out
Okay.
what they know.
Okay. You all go. Be amazing. Be the winners that I know you all are. Graceful winners. I look at Neo and Ezra. And I am going to go look into this.
Be
All right.
safe.
Coach Pickles, are you ready?
Coach Pickles.
Yeah, I give kissels. I give Pickles a little kiss.
Kissels for
Um,
pickles.
And then I put Pickles back onto Toots' glider. I also stop by a locker that I just kind of generally use for my own stuff, and I like take off the like little shawl that I was wearing, grab instead sort of this like messenger bag kind of situation,
Ooh,
sling it over before I go.
cool.
Cool. So as you're making these preparations, you notice that the photographer's almost done setting up. They're just making a couple last minute adjustments, and you see, if you look really far to the other side of the arena, the other archway into the other preparation room, you can see the other team arriving and like kind of getting their uniforms on. They're about ready to walk out and do the photo op.
All right. I move on out and forget the flame retardant that got scraped off my glider.
Cool.
We have our
Ezra-
mind on other things.
That's fair.
Ezra will follow sheepishly behind Tirza.
Neho's like has her arms folded, but follows out also.
You see, kind of far away, the gap between the stands and the arena is pretty far. So he's kind of yelling, but you see Juan standing next to the photographer, going, "Oh, great, you guys are here. Why don't you just go and stand in the center there, just directly in the center? Like, no, don't take your positions just yet. Just the two of you.
Oh,
Just, Yep, the
Okay, all right.
fire one and the earth one. Yeah, just go into the center there.
What?
Like this?
And then just scooch in. Yep, and then just go ahead and hold your hand out, and then you, the fire one, yeah, shake the other fire one's hand, and then earth one, shake the water one's hand. Right? Yep. Just like and are you complying with everything he's telling you to do? Okay.
Yeah.
Neho, the waterbender, as she's shaking your hand, looks a little bit scared of you. She doesn't want to shake your hand. You can definitely tell that much at least. This is something that she has been she feels like she's obligated to do, to shake your hand. She doesn't want to. Ezra, the firebender shaking your hand is squeezing very, very hard, and his hand is very warm. He's not like damaging you in any way,
Yeah.
but you can tell there's aggression here.
So Ezra is going to use a move here.
Ooh, okay.
Can't knock me down. When you openly refuse to back down or flee, roll with harmony for the rest of the battle whenever you defend and maneuver. And so that's just a flavor thing of Ezra is not backing away from this handshake. But you see the sort of like bend in his elbow as he's like trying to withhold.
If you would like, I will let you roll harmony to intimidate them.
Yeah.
I think that works really well. Like they expected you to be a pushover, but you're just like, no.
A 9.
Ooh, okay, that works. So you can see them looking at you. And
so I sorry, to just a little bit
No,
of
go ahead.
flavor with
Yeah,
that happening. Ezra activates his abilities and starts absorbing the heat from the other bender, and just starts his arm starts glowing in retaliation.
Mm-hmm. And as the two of you are shaking hands, you see him looking at you with like a fiery, like, I'm gonna get you. And as you start to absorb the energy into your own body, and like it's very clear to your opponent that while your opponent might be stronger than you, like overtly, like if you were just holding two blasts of fire at each other, they would probably win. But you're the better bender, definitely. Like you, in a competition of just who can bend fire better, you win. The only way that he would win is in a direct, strength to strength comparison. That's the only way. And he's starting to recognize that as well. And so this like aggression in his eyes slowly turns into fear.
That's right. Fear me. No, just kidding. But Ezra will smile for the picture. Like
Yep.
a glowing arm.
Flawless. They take the photos, and Niho and Ezra, you both hear Gravone kind of off in the distance. It seems like he's projecting just to sound really important. He wants everybody to hear him speak, sort of self-absorbed in a self-absorbed way. Yeah. Okay. And then just the subtitle will be two teams like bury the hatchet on the field of battle, featuring the Scorpion Bees and their opponents. And perfect. And we'll print that and we'll post it right outside the event for tomorrow's matches, and then we'll put it in the paper probably on Wednesday. I think Wednesday sounds great. Get it on page 2 if you can, and that'll be wonderful. Thank you so much, guys, as he addresses you directly and begins to leave.
Did we win? And what about Tirza?
He doesn't hear you or doesn't respond.
So I think no one ever told them they were like these two, but not you.
Yeah.
And there's that moment of like, oh. And then it was the moment of, okay, forget that jerk. And I think I'd like Tirza to catch the photographer's eye and strike a bit of like an underdog pose, like kind of sabotaging the intent of what Huan is trying to do. And like make us overall kind of like, the appealing plucky kiddos and maybe shift the narrative away from whatever it was he intended, which I don't know.
Sure.
I just know that he excluded me and that feels bad and I want to mess up whatever he's doing.
You're just trying to be a brat, basically. So
your words, not mine, without you mentioning.
You know what? And I stick by it. It's far enough away that you're not sure like how the shot's framed or anything, but you do. And in a certain circumstance, if the photographer wasn't really filled in, which by Juan very thoroughly, it's entirely possible that you were in the shot. And
can I roll like a creativity to see if I can do the sabotage or like harmony or whatever it is?
Yes, but that introduces the chance of a consequence.
It does.
Okay, great. Knock yourself out.
I might.
Oh gosh.
4 plus 3 plus creativity is 1 is 8.
Nice. So you actively like scoot yourself towards the people shaking their hands, and you see the photographer kind of like peek out and look at you and kind of like question your presence. And as he does that, you kind of give him like an affirmation, like you hold up your thumb, you're like, yeah, it's fine. And the photographer notices you doing that, doesn't bring it up to Gravone at all, and snaps the photo.
Yeah, let's hope we were photogenic. That's a lie. Niha's always photogenic.
That's true.
When like the photo, like when we're like photo's done, we're taking it, like Niho like still has a hold on like that waterbender's hand, and then just like smiles and pats their hand.
Are you trying to intimidate?
Yes, I am.
Yes,
Go
established.
ahead and roll with passion, please.
Okay. That is a 12.
Yes, it is.
Oh, Niho.
Okay, since you rolled so high, normally they would get to choose how they respond to your intimidation from a couple of options, but because you rolled so high, you get to choose. You get to choose one they cannot pick, right? So you get to narrow the list down a little bit. You don't get to choose how they act, but you get to choose how they don't act. So their options are: they run to escape or get back up, they back down but keep watch, they give in with a few stipulations, and I'll say for the context of what we're doing right now, they give in would be I'm not sure off the top of my head, but we'll
Maybe a substitution.
Yeah. And the last one is they attack you, but off balance.
I think that I actually one they cannot choose. I guess. that like they can't. I guess choosing that they can't attack me. That like
Don't want to start a fight.
yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
Like
or
targeting me is a bad idea. Even like now or like maybe even later. It's
Forever.
Okay, I'm gonna say that they back down but keep watch. From a mechanical perspective, I will say that unless their only viable option is to attack, is to strike, they can't strike in the next match that you guys have against them, or the continuation of the match that you have against them. So they won't be able to use the strike action. Fair?
Nice.
Okay. You see the scorpion bees migrating back towards their area. You see the audience starting to come in. The slow murmur of the individuals finding their seats and spilling popcorn everywhere, and everybody's kind of looking at you, waiting for you to make your way back to the practice room so that they can start the show.
All right, I'm gonna post Pickles back up on the railing by the side of the arena. Pickles will sort of wrap a tail around and have back paws on the lower railing, forepaws over the upper railing, holding that popcorn and just putting their face into it every so often. They should not be having popcorn.
The closest audience members that come in are just like, oh.
But in a little can we just have a little jersey for Coach Pickles?
Yes.
Absolutely.
None of us
Did
have jerseys.
Kasima ever deny Pickles the Coach jersey? Foolish question. I'm sorry I asked.
Coach jersey, little coach chair.
Tiny whistle. Yeah, I love that.
Tiny whistle. I custom ordered everything.
None of us as the team have
better than
anything.
mine.
I was gonna say you all canonically have shoddy uniforms, but Pickles is pitted, okay? The drip's immaculate on Pickles.
Perfect.
Our mascot's better than theirs.
It's true. Pygmy Pumas.
We can never take that away. Listen,
Scorpion bee on the side of the railing, everyone screams. Pygmy Puma on the
winds
side
come
of the
and
railing.
go. Winds come and go. Drip is forever.
And I go
Spoken
to
like a waterbender.
Oh my god.
There we go. We finally got our water pun.
As you guys make your way back into the practice room, the bridges withdraw from the arena and kind of everything resets. The earthbenders take their positions to do the ceremonial extending of the bridge, and you hear the announcer as the audience slowly starts to find their seats and the arena starts to fill up. You hear the announcer come back. Welcome back, everybody. Sorry for the delay. I know I said 15 minutes, but I was wrong. That having been said, we're about to kick it off one more time. Can you make noise for the scorpion bees? Erupting cheers. Everybody's like, we're here, we're whistling. And on the other side of the arena, please welcome back the Puma Pygmies. And everybody cheers. Woo!
Pygmy Pumas.
Yeah, you
You
definitely got your name backwards, but closer than the first time. The bridges extend and they wait for you to cross the bridge onto the arena one more time. As this is a continuation of a previously suspended match, we are going to resume non-standard positions. Will the Scorpion Bees please take the second position on their side? And will the Pygmy Pumas please take the first position on the Scorpion Bees side? And you
We'll
guys
stride over.
A glider can't strut and yet.
And yet.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. 3, 2, 1. A loud buzzer, and the arena center of the arena turns green again. So this is going to be another round of combat. We're going to do one round of combat, resolve it, and then we'll go to Kasima because I know that there was something you wanted to do during the event.
Take your time.
Sweet. So what is everybody doing? Defending and maneuvering, advancing and attacking, or evading and observing?
I'm attacking, obviously.
I think that I'm going to do defend.
So Ezra. Oops. Ezra is defending. Niho is attacking. And what about Tirza?
Tirza will also maneuver, defend.
Gotcha. All right. So Ezra and Tirza and the Waterbender and the Earthbender are all defending. So why don't the two of you go first, and then I'll have the two NPCs go.
Ezra will step up forward first, and in a similar fashion, will take a defensive position, this time in front of Niho. And you can see he starts to activate his sort of heat as well. I'm going to do the Caesar position.
Okay.
Move. And then I'm going to establish an advantageous position and also use my move Strength of Your Heart so that when you seize a position, foes must mark 2 fatigue to block your movement.
Okay. Fair enough.
So if any of them try to attack Niho, they'll take 2 fatigue as like a defensive.
Right. Okay. Then Tirza?
Tirza is going to effectively retaliate in a similar way to what they did before on Niho's behalf, assuming that they've read us by now.
Sure.
But they're going to try to feint as they do. So Tirza is actually going to hang back behind both of them, but a little farther up, so that when the attack comes in, they're going to just dive and flip their glider. So like they're facing their allies and glider side out to absorb the incoming attacks at Niho. Forgetting,
Nice.
The thing, obviously. But
Yep. Okay. And are you going to interpose yourself between Ezra and Niho, or between Ezra and the opponents? Because Ezra's also standing in front of Niho.
I think I'm tracking. Well, actually, what vibe do I get off of Ezra? Because I don't think you play forward a lot.
Right. And so this one, you've seen that Ezra seems to be energized from the intimidation before and things going well, and being able to take the second position or this position on the board from the get-go. Ezra is like pumped and ready, is like waiting to get hit type of thing, kind of like see what happens.
I think if I blocked for Ezra right now, it would communicate a lack of faith in the position he took. So I'm angling to dive for Niho if Niho gets targeted.
Okay.
I will trust Ezra.
Fair enough.
We'll see.
I'm loyalty and confidence in this playbook, baby.
And then, we're going to have the Waterbender. The Waterbender is going to retaliate. They're going to do the same move that you saw them do before. It's kind of like a floating wall of ice. There's a thin ribbon of water, and then out from the thin ribbon of water shoots more water, and that freezes into ice that is effectively then suspended by that water in place. And that was a retaliation. And then the Earthbender is also going to defend in a similar manner to the way they did before, but they kind of like layer it on top of that ice wall so that there's a couple of and by on top of I mean behind a couple of earth discs kind of reinforcing that wall of ice, since there were the whole last time. And last but not least, we have the oh no, actually Niho's also attacking. So Niho, why don't you do your attack first, and then we'll go to their Firebender.
I think that Niho doesn't want to. I think is going to focus the Firebender actually, and try to like hit them with some discs and see if like can knock them back, since they because they aren't being directly protected by like that ice and like disc wall right now yet, right?
Uh,
Or are they being like in that, or is it
yeah,
mostly...
it's basically covering the most of their team. They do have less room to maneuver than you,
Yeah.
so it is a little bit more of a it's a little bit less of a challenge to cover the more individuals.
Yeah, I think still focus on the Firebender because the attacks have ruined their defense basically.
Sure.
So that is 12.
Jeez.
Niho!
This is the thing I'm good at.
Oh my goodness.
Your dice agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But by the way, I just want to make sure you know that you can choose to inflict a condition. Is that something that you're aware of instead of having me mark
Oh.
fatigue, which you're totally welcome to do if you want.
Not in this case. I think I'm just gonna want to like mark
Sure.
fatigue.
Yep, they're gonna mark fatigue then, and they look almost done. They're beat. You also need to mark 1 fatigue for the retaliation. So your earth discs shatter through the ice barrier and through the stone that's behind them and hit the firebender. But as the ice shatters, the shards shoot out towards you and hit you in retaliation. So you have a couple of cuts, but nothing too much.
And it's their attack, I believe.
And then they're looking fiercely at you is going to strike. So go ahead and mark 1 fatigue from that strike.
And they take one right back.
As you make a hole in the wall of ice, and the shards of it lash out at you, a bolt of fire goes right through the hole after it and hits you in the shoulder.
Sorry, Niho.
And you all go back and forth, continuing to fight. We're gonna move on over to Kasima. So as your players leave through the door.
Yeah, I'm gonna head down towards that direction that the stage manager had mentioned, just because that does seem kind of lower down in the belly of the beast, so to speak. So there's probably seems like a good enough place to start.
As you get to, just to remind everybody, the stage manager had told you that as you walk the lower part of the stands where the audience sits, kind of like in the middle of the span of that path, there's a staircase that leads down further into like the arena. And as you get to the bottom of that staircase, there's a hallway to your left, or in a hallway that extends both to your left and your right, and really close to where you come off of that stairway, there's a door with a big sign that says production in front of it, but there's way more hallway on either side. It looks like it wraps the entire length of the arena.
Okay.
You would assume, based on the fact that it turns and you don't see the end of it on both sides.
Wish I had a glider. And I start making my way through. So a bit of I'm going to explain my background thinking, and then I will roll what I'm assuming is going to be assess the situation. But I kind of mentioned it at the top of the show that Kisama, yes, comes from a long, prolific, rich family of waterbenders. She herself can bend water, but not well. She is a modern woman. She's a woman of the future. And so I have training and information and knowledge about technology. And I think that the fact that this is an earthquake, and I heard some things about like, it's supposed to do this, it does that. And there's some sort of numerical element to this. I don't think it's a stretch to say that in Kisama's mind, it's piecing together as like, okay, maybe it's not spiritual, maybe it's technological. So I am looking for any sort of machinery or something that seems out of place, or just I'm looking for weird tech, essentially.
Sure. Why don't you rely on your skills and training by rolling with focus?
Okay, cool. Awesome. Okay, that's a 10.
Wow, nice.
Yes.
So
Super spy.
Yo, we missed our calling, y'all.
Or maybe this is why my mom is always like, "You sure you want to manage a probate?"
Have you considered espionage?
I think there's two separate important things here. One is now that you're kind of away from, there was a bunch of things that you had to focus on with Juan and with your team about to go out. You had to like motivate them. Now that all of those worries are kind of like dealt with, there's nothing more you can do about them. You can kind of recenter your thoughts on what it was that Tirza had told you that they heard. And so you're thinking about the numbers, like what could the numbers possibly mean? And there's all these like weird things happening. Like how could the numbers relate to the shaking? It could have been just like the magnitude of the shake. That's what they could. Right. They could have been just referring to the magnitude of the shake. Nothing malicious or secret. But they also could have been talking about the magnitude of the thing that caused the shake. Is what strikes you. You're not sure which. You don't really have any evidence either way. It's just a thought that enters your mind, and you can mull it over as you will. The other thing is you're trying to assess your environment as you walk. Just to be clear, you did immediately see the door that said production, and you're just going to walk by that. Is that correct?
Oh,
just like keep walking.
Right. Sorry, I forgot about that.
No worries.
No. I'm gonna go in.
Okay, so you're gonna we'll hold off on the examining the environment thing until there's a reason to examine the environment. For now, you're gonna walk into the production room. The production room's kind of big. It's like I'd say a middle class living room on TV, so like larger than a normal living class living room would be.
Yeah.
There's
massive.
There's a couple of tables where you see, stage managers working, and some of them are on headsets, and you can listen in on the headsets if you want, but it's just chatter about making sure the show runs smoothly. There isn't anything malicious or hidden in their communication that you can decipher. And as you look around, you notice the stage manager that you were working with, the one with the two interns. She is at one of the tables. She's furiously writing something and on the phone with one ear, and she's mumbling about printing stuff, and her two interns are sitting next to her looking kind of bored. And as the two of them see you walk in first, they kind of like straighten up, and like just like the tiredness leaves their eyes, and they poke the stage manager, and she's like, hold on, I'm on the phone. You're not supposed to bother people when they're on the phone. It's really important because the person on the other end of the line can hear me, and if they hear me talking to you, they're going to think I'm talking to them, and there's going to be a miscommunication, and then it's going to not come out right, and it's going to be all your fault. And if I don't get this right, they're going to be so mad at me because do you know Gravone, are you aware? I mean, of course you know Gravone, but do you know what he does to people that disappoint him? He gets rid of them, because what else would you do with somebody that can't do their job? Like, it doesn't make any sense. I see those faces. This isn't in the like murder context. This is like firing, getting fired. I want to make that abundantly clear. If that wasn't clear by the tone of my voice, talking about getting fired. And so I can't talk to you. Do you know? Do you get it? Stop poking me. Stop it. Oh, what? Oh, hi. Hello. Hi. I'm so sorry. Did you get everything that I said already? Okay, great. Okay, I'm going to go. Okay, call me if there's any confusion or anything. Just, you can call me back on this number and yep. Okay. Yep. Okay. Yep. I'm definitely going to hang up now. Stop talking. Are you good? Okay, bye. Click. And she hangs up. Oh, hi. Hi. How's it going?
It's going. I was just...
Is there something I can do for you, or?
Oh, you've just been so sweet and so helpful. I wanted to check in and make sure that you were okay after the little shake.
Are you like whispering? Are you trying to keep this conversation?
Yeah, because everybody's talking. I'm more doing it like not trying to bother other people while they're working.
Okay.
Mhm.
Do you think we could just step outside really quick? I don't think you're necessarily supposed to be in here. Okay, great.
Yeah, I wait till she stands up and then I take her arm as if she offered it, even though she definitely didn't.
Nope. Cool. All right. You can see like she's not tense enough that she's like stiffening up until you touch her, and then she stiffens up and is just like, okay, this is a thing. Okay.
I don't know where I'm going. I figured you could lead me.
Oh yeah. She opens the door. She's trying to not seem stiff, but it's not working, and she just leads you outside, closes the door behind her, and that's it. You're just literally standing immediately on the other side of the door. What can I do for you?
So, like I said, I step away. Like I said, I just was wanting to check in and see how.
As you're talking, the door opens and you see one of the interns poke their head out, and she grabs the doorknob and slams it shut. Sorry, what were you saying?
They seem to admire you.
Oh, yeah, there. Don't ever look at them. They're a pain in my side. You think with the ridiculous amount of money that we make from these events, we'd be able to hire a couple people to help me that actually know what they're doing. But no, it's a 14-year-old and a 16-year-old. Apparently, that's all I deserve. I'm so sorry.
Unpaid internships, right? They don't really benefit anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I just wanted to check in, see how things were going. That shake was scary. It just seemed odd, and I don't know. I just wanted to make sure that everybody was okay. Have you seen anything strange happening since, like, even before the game started? I'm sure you're here all day on game days. Lots of stuff.
There's some people that are around that I don't necessarily recognize. They look official though. I mean, I don't think that they're not supposed to be here. They're wearing badges and everything, so I imagine that they know what they're doing. I'm sure it's just like a safety crew or something. But I mean,
do you think they might be part of Gravon's team?
No,
People.
I mean, I'm a part of Gravon's team, so I'm assuming that I would know. It might be something that somebody higher up, maybe they hired somebody or like told the city, and it's like I don't know. Maybe they're like city officials? Do they do that? Does the city send like engineers out to look at stuff? I don't know. Maybe they're earthbenders. I don't know. I don't know anything about how earthquake responses work. I just know I don't recognize them. But again, I don't think that they're not supposed to be here. And also the officer lady told me about your conversation. She told me to like look out for officers that aren't doing what they're supposed to. I haven't noticed anything like that. But I mean, she didn't tell me to tell you. Was I not supposed to tell you that? Oh no.
I don't know anything.
Oh, okay. She still looks worried that she wasn't supposed to tell you that. Does that help? I don't think anybody was hurt. And then, they told us that the arena was still safe, so I think your team's going to be fine.
Okay. Thank you. That's very
you're
helpful.
so welcome. You're so welcome. I'm so sorry for losing my cool. I get so frustrated with it's not their fault.
It's not their fault.
No.
You're doing the best. You're great at your job, and you just keep doing amazing things.
Oh, thank you so much. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll be here if you need anything else or wandering around. But these people can get a hold of me, so don't worry about that. Just come here to find me. And she opens the door again, and you hear her hissing at the 2 inches. What are you doing? Don't open the door. Close the door.
These poor babies.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as we win a couple of matches, I'm gonna bring them on as as my interns to manage the team.
Nice.
But I will pay them.
That's the important part.
Yeah. Towel boys. Y'all deserve it. Anyway,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go explore the environment.
Cool. So you have it is a hallway that splits. Relative to the stairs that you came in on, it's a hallway that splits in 2 directions. Are you going to go the direction with the production door or the direction that does not have the production door?
I'm gonna go the direction without the production door.
Cool. Why don't you rely on your skills and training, or depending on what you want to accomplish, assess the situation. So rely on your skills and training will be you noticing something out of the ordinary. Assess the situation will give you a +1 to relying on your skills and training if you succeed. and you ask a valid question.
I'm gonna assess the situation first because, like,
Cool.
why pass up the opportunity for a free +1?
Mhm.
Ooh. Okay. That's gonna be an 11.
Yep. Ask 2 questions.
That's pretty dope. Okay.
So just
I'm
the list
no.
really quick. If you are looking for some inspiration, what here can I use to blank? Who or what is the biggest threat? What should I be on the lookout for? What is my best way out or in or through? Or who or what is in greatest danger?
I mean, obviously, what should I be on the lookout for?
Sure.
Obvi.
Do you want the answer to that first, or?
Yes, please.
Okay. You kind of hit the nail on the head. You're looking for stuff that's out of place from a technological perspective.
Right.
So you're looking for things that are either like delivering too much power, like more power than you think that the arena would need, and you're looking for where those things go, or you are looking for literally just machines that look out of place that you don't understand the function of, which you probably should given your training. And then the second question.
The second question is, who or what is in the greatest danger?
At the present moment, you.
Okay, worm. Cool. I think Kisima kind of like shifts a little bit, like the bag that she has. It's essentially sort of like, imagine you ever see those like bags that people make that are like cool messenger bags, but they're like really nerdy and they're supposed to be like a reference to something.
I have several of those.
You know exactly the vibe.
Yeah.
So imagine like a tactical version of Katara's water skin. Yeah, so it's kind of got like that shape. It does hang like a bag, and it actually can open. There are things inside of it, but attached almost like the way a bag would have like the mini pockets. Instead of being actual pockets, they're little containers of water. So instead of having just like one big bag, she's got these like small little pockets of water attached all over. Yeah, along with like stuff inside. She's not powerful enough to pull water out of the air. She's not there. Yeah, she can't do that.
Fair enough.
Yeah. But yeah, okay, cool. So Kisima kind of like holds onto the bag a little bit tighter, steels herself, and pushes forward. And I'm going to, I assume, take that +1 towards relying on my skills and training.
Yep. And go ahead and roll that. That's going to be with focus.
Okay. I think focus is cool. Okay, so focus is a 1, so that's gonna bump me up to a 9. I have 10.
Nice. Perfect. That is the perfect thing to roll. As you walk through the halls, you look back and forth. You see doors that are almost certainly locked, and you don't disturb them. You just keep going until you're looking for an opportunity. You're not looking to force anything, right? You understand that you're in danger. You don't want to remove your plausible deniability. You want to be able to say you're looking for a bathroom. So you just leave all the doors. You don't even test them. You continue to walk, and you get to a location that looks like a loading dock. Like maybe they bring in material through here, like food or like materials to repair the arena, which does sustain damage quite frequently. So they bring like fresh stone for them to meld back into the arena. And there's a giant loading door, and on the other side of the loading door is kind of like an office, a place where you can inspect, a place where like a foreman's the wrong word, but it's the only word I can think of, where a foreman would, make sure the shipments are correct. They'd mark down, I received X of this and X of that. And you notice that the door is open and that there's nobody inside.
Seems like a great place for a bathroom. So I'm going to go wander on it.
Okay. You you kind of push the door a little bit further open, and you see that there are a couple of papers on the desk, and some coffee, a cup of coffee, and that's about it.
I'm going to take a quick search around, and then I'm going to snatch up those papers, quickly fold them, and stick them into whatever sort of like belt situation Kisima is rocking.
Okay.
Or I could just read them there, but I feel like I shouldn't
up to
stay
you.
in the room.
Totally up to you. Don't gotta justify it to me. Rely on your skills and training. Oh, actually, that's not the right thing. Push your luck.
Okay.
That's going to be rolling with passion.
Okay. This is going to be a flat roll, folks.
I got this. You don't got this?
I know. That was the most genuinely horrified reaction I've had in a minute. I have a 4.
You do not got this.
Oh no.
No. Why did I
As you reach for the papers, you grab them and snatch them off of the desk in order to quickly shove them into your bag. You knock the coffee off of the desk and the cup shatters on the ground.
Okay. That's it?
That's what happens.
Oh, that's so much worse. Oh, that's so much worse.
You don't hear anybody coming. I mean, as the cup hits the ground, I assume, and please correct me if I'm wrong, that you feel a moment of like, oh no, pure adrenaline.
Yeah.
And you're used to adrenaline. You're used to, holding back what it is that you want to say. So you don't react. You don't scream. You don't make a sound. The cup hits the ground and shatters. Coffee goes all over the place. Some of it gets on the walls. Some of it gets on the drawers that have other papers in them, and the desk, and a little bit splatters onto the chair. It's very apparent that a cup of coffee has exploded on the ground here. and you kind of like hold your breath. You don't inhale, you don't exhale, you don't move. The only thing you can hear is your heart and the ambient sound of hopefully nobody walking towards you. And you stand there for a couple beats and it's silent.
Well, these are mine now. I'm leaving.
Oh boy.
What, Remy,
sure
this
it's
wasn't a good
fine.
idea?
I totally see her muttering that under her breath too. Well, these are mine now.
Totally. Go ahead, and because that was such a stressful situation, I'm going to have you mark a fatigue. Or actually, why don't you choose? You can either mark a fatigue or you can have the afraid condition. Is that a condition? Did I get that right?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Nice.
Afraid, angry, foolish, guilty, or insecure.
Nice.
I think. Are these the same as? I don't know. Now I'm thinking too hard. Boy, howdy. I'm gonna take the afraid condition, especially because I have to walk back down that hallway by myself. So I think I'm afraid on many levels.
Fair enough. You take a step out of the hallway and you bump into somebody that you don't recognize. Somebody wearing a very shockingly white kind of like dress shirt on the top with a gold badge on it, and like really boring beige pants, nice shoes, a nice belt. They look pretty like grunt workery, right? Like just somebody there to do data entry or something. But they look kind of like they're built like a warehouse worker. They're built like somebody who's on the docks moving material all day. They're super in shape, but they're dressed like somebody who sits behind a desk all day. And they look at you and go, sorry about bumping into you.
Oh no, it's okay.
Are you I'm fairly certain you're not supposed to be back here.
I'm not.
I don't really know. It's okay. I mean, are you doing something bad?
Not yet.
Yeah, I don't think so. All right, that's fine. Like, just don't do anything silly. All right, I got enough to do.
Yeah, I can tell you work very hard. Yeah, don't worry about it.
They don't say bye. They don't really even look at you during that encounter. They're just kind of like staring off. And then they walk back towards their office that you just walked out of.
leave.
And
I'm out of there.
are you gonna run?
No.
Okay,
Power
you're just
walk.
you're power walking.
Yeah.
You're walking with a purpose.
Yes.
Okay, so as you walk with a purpose away from the office, you hear them sit down and go, "Oh, my cup." They have no reaction whatsoever.
This is so much worse. This is a 4. This is so bad. I don't like this.
Well, to be fair, 1 through 6 is the same. They're all a miss.
That's true. That's true.
Well, something is amiss. I'll give you that for free.
Hey.
So they let's have you roll something really quick. What is the
I'm looking at my little cheat sheet.
yeah. Very useful, by the way, thank you. I think the only thing that makes sense is rely on your skills and training.
Okay. I mean, I'm a fast walker. I grew up in the city. I know how to move through a crowd and disappear. Okay. Okay, that's a 10.
Nice.
I do have to, just because I think it's funny, my dice are so far away from me, and I have a dice tray with really high lids or lips. So it's very funny because one of them keeps rolling behind. So it really is this delayed response of
There's like a drum roll every time you have to crane your head over to look at the. I love that.
I'm like, well, there's one die that's very good. Let's see what's behind door number 2. So I pull it out, but they're both 5s, and that's hot.
So you power walk away, and you. Where are you trying to go? Do you just power walk in the opposite direction absent-mindedly, or are you in your own head enough to be able to realize I need to have a destination?
Yeah. I mean, like I said, a purpose. And there wasn't I basically got to the end of the trail that I was going down before, right?
No. You're fairly certain that hallway loops around the whole arena. So you got pretty far, maybe 100 yards.
I guess I keep walking past whatever this was.
Oh, so you walk further into further away from the production office. Is that right?
I mean, you sound concerned when you say it, so yes, it is, right?
Okay. I am not concerned nor unconcerned. You're allowed to make whatever choices you want.
There's exit to the street, and there's back to the arena from here, and there's more production.
So she's basically
How close is she to us? Where's our coach?
she's effectively walking further away from you now, right?
Bye.
There's 4 entrances to this kind of underground service tunnel, and they are they divide the arena into quarters. So you're walking further away from the entrance you used and closer to the next entrance. Does that make sense?
Yes, that helps.
Okay. So you kind of you pivot and power walk away, and your heart's pounding. But you're used to stressful situations. This isn't again, controlling yourself is part of what you know how to do. So you pretty quickly
dinners, parties, that's stress.
Yeah, you pretty quickly get that under control, and you're walking, and then you think to yourself, why did he let me walk this way? You left an office that has windows, and then continued to walk down a service hallway, and he just watched you do it. I mean, maybe he didn't notice, but what are the chances? That's ridiculous.
That is
You're very confused by that.
And he seemed very out of it, nonchalant. The whole bumping in, didn't even look at me. because I feel like I very clearly don't look like I belong there, and he didn't even seem to care. There's light. Can I look at the papers that I took?
Sure. Yeah.
Cool.
You're gonna take them out right now.
I'm gonna walk a little bit further so I know I'm alone. Then I'm gonna take them out.
Go ahead and press your luck.
Now, Krug.
You
No
got
other
this.
moves? No
You
other
got
moves?
this.
I just love the way he said it. It's like you touch the doorknob with your hand.
Y'all, my heart can't keep taking this. So the first die that I can physically see is a 1.
Oh.
Drum roll. It's another 1. It's a 1.
Well, you got 4. Now see what happens on Snake Eyes.
Oh no.
The only lucky thing that ever happened to Kisimo was being born rich. I swear to God.
That's beautiful. I think actually, that's a really great cliffhanger.
Okay.
On a roll.
That's a solid cliffhanger. I know we don't normally stop between rolls, but like that's too good to pass up, right? I'm not alone in that. I can't possibly be.
That rules.
No, yes, please torture us for a prolonged period of time.
Yeah.
So we'll wait a week to find out what happens on a 2.
Yep. So, okay. Thank you all for joining us. That has been the first episode of Avatar Legends. I'd just like to remind everybody that this is a collaborative story that we are telling with the Rule of Lore. So me as the Q Times GM, I'm doing the first 2 episodes. I'm kind of introducing the narrative. And then we have Lucas Santana, who's the Rule of Lore GM. I'm so sorry, Lucas. I definitely had to look at the other monitor to remember your name because I just brain farted. And I needed to get it out in the open because I physically turned my whole body to do it. And so I felt a little awkward not addressing it, but there, I did. Lucas is going to be taking the second 2 episodes with this same cast in the same story, in the same world, and continuing it and bringing it to a close. And that's this 4-shot. So we're going to be back here next week, same time, same day, and we'll find out what happens with the tournament, and we'll find out what happens with the investigation, for lack of a better term. But until then, yeah, right. Why don't you all say your goodbyes?
Starting with Ruby.
I have to give you an order, right? Starting with Niho.
There you go.
Yes. Hi, this is lovely. It's great. I'm Remy. You can see me with the Rule of Lore crew. You can see me on doing stuff last season on Infinite Horizon. You can follow me on Twitter at RemyPost.
And Ezra.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at Xanderific with 2 R's and 1 F. I'm doing my own stuff here on my Twitch channel. I'm playing the Wraith VR game, so that's been a lot of fun.
Nice.
So check that out. And also Classic Zelda. I'm playing through the whole series. So check me out there. And I'm doing storytelling all over the internet.
Nice. Tirza.
Just getting his storytelling just all over there, just smearing it across the internet. And I'm so happy because occasionally I get to do it with him. It's the best. In fact, that's one of the places you can catch me on the Twitternet because Xander and I have the series finale of Clear Skies here on Q Times on Monday. That's 6:30, so you don't want to miss it. I don't know if it's where I'd hop in, but maybe you're chaotic. In which case, frankly, I salute you. But I also do a bunch of other stuff. If I'm not investigating earthquakes here, you can catch me causing them again on Q Times. That's for Power Play. And I do a whole bunch of my own streaming. Again, you can get that whole schedule on twitch.tv/Delevely, DELEVELY.
And last but definitely not least, Casimo.
Hi everybody, I'm Liv. I'm a special breed of streamer because I do not stream on my own channel, but rather I float from channel to channel, blessing you with chaos and a good time. But on Mondays, I am over on Total Party Chills, Under the Table. Under the Table is an indie-focused TTRPG long play campaign. It's something going on over there. And we just started our 3rd season. We're doing a Weird West season is the best way I can describe it. So there's monsters, but there's also cowboy hats. Get into it. And then on Saturdays, I'm here. But speaking of Mondays, Monday is the last day to vote for the Game Her Awards. And I'm sure you're wondering, Liv, why are you asking about the Game Hers? Well, I am nominated. So thank you. I'm nominated under the Rising Stars category under streamer. So it would mean the world to me if you all voted. It's a really big roster. There's a lot of people. Everybody deserves it. But yeah, I can drop a link. It's until Monday, and I have done such a bad job of promoting it, so now I'm doing it here.
Fair enough. And yeah, if you definitely put a link in the chat, and if you can't send the link for whatever reason, I don't know if you have VIP yet in our chat. It looks like you do. Nice. Cool. And I've been Krug from Q Times. You can catch me on usually Game Gorgon. That's on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/QTimesMain. You can also join our Discord and talk to me. That's a cool way to, and I'm also on Twitter. Those are the things that I do. And I love playing RPGs, and this is honestly one of the most entertaining first sessions I've ever played. Thank you so much for doing this, you guys. This is like one of my favorite worlds is the Avatar, like The Last Airbender and Korra, and GMing this has been super awesome. I can't wait for the next episode, and I can't wait to see how you guys finish it off either, because it's going to be great. Anyways, enough of me just rambling.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Anytime. We'll see you guys next week.